Stone published a story today. The topic was what could happen if Trump wins. And one of the things is this. They wrote, there is no nemesis too small. The tally even includes late night comics. During his 2024 campaign, which is now, according to a source with direct knowledge, Trump's raised the topic again, venting about the need to punish late night comedians who pissed him off. As president, Trump briefly attempted to get justice officials to twist campaign finance laws and the federal equal time rule to declare that anti-Trump material broadcast by Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and others was somehow illegal.
For not comparing something to Nazis. My mom drank while she was pregnant with me, and even more after she met me. Like me, because there's no I in team, I think.
Supreme Court Justice Sam Alito had an upside-down flag flying outside his house after January 6th. Turning the flag upside down now has become a symbol of solidarity with Trump. After Trump was convicted, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a picture.
Did you hear about the political roast that has everyone talking? Jimmy Kimmel and Bill Maher just cranked up the heat on Trump and MTG. And let's just say, they're definitely feeling the burn.
Eric and Don Jr. would know how to handle jokes, but I guess not. The only two who've tried to stop me are Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who actually called the cops on me. I control the weather. They would have made sure a house landed directly on you, you demented witch. Marjorie is upset because a hurricane ripped the sleeves off. Trump White House pressured Disney to censor Jimmy Kimmel. Quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues and jabs. For nothing, I wonder what it was specifically that sparked this,
From spray tan budgets to wild weather control conspiracies, these late-night comedians didn't hold back. But here's the real twist. Trump and MTG's responses might just be even funnier than the jokes. Stick around to see who truly gets the last laugh in this political comedy showdown.
A lot of Democrats were freaking out about this New York Times poll that came out yesterday that showed Trump up by 1% nationally going into the debate. The Trump people were celebrating, which is surprising. I guess the news at the New York Times is only occasionally fake. I don't know why we get so worked up about this stuff. There's nothing scientific about these polls. Hillary Clinton was supposed to win in a landslide, according to these polls. From the guy who said the failing New York Times has been wrong about me from the very beginning, said I would lose the primaries, then the general election, fake news.
Looks like Trump has picked up a pricey new habit. And no, it's not his usual orange glow-up routine. Jimmy Kimmel is having a field day with Trump's latest legal fiasco, and let's just say, it's burning quite the hole in the former president's pocket. So what's the deal? Trump's been slapped with a $10,000 daily fine for contempt of court. That's right, folks. 10 grand a day just for being, well, Trump. Kimmel couldn't resist taking a jab, quipping, "Did you hear about Trump's $10,000 daily fine? It's not for his hairspray budget, folks." The audience ate it up, laughing and cheering as Kimmel fired off one zinger after another.
Died for, and it's especially hypocritical coming from someone who claims to be the bigliest anti-censorship defender of free speech.
We're here today to discuss protecting Americans from censorship. We will uphold the right of free speech.
We, as a country, cannot tolerate political censorship.
Today I'm directing my administration to explore all regulatory and legislative solutions to protect free speech and the free speech rights of all Americans. We will always protect free speech. The censorship and bias is a threat to freedom itself. Free speech is a bedrock of American life.
We believe in free speech.
Censorship, free speech.
And Kimmel didn't stop at just the legal troubles. Oh no, he went after everything from Trump's hair to his diet. The audience couldn't get enough, erupting in laughter and cheers with every punchline. It was less like a late-night monologue and more like a full-blown comedy roast. But instead of a celebrity, it was a former president getting absolutely grilled.
For giving illegal campaign contributions to the Democratic Party in the form of jokes and on-air satire. To lock up the late-night host. And what happened to this, by the way?
Jimmy, I love you so much.
Imagining me and all the other late-night hosts in prison together like the mobsters in Goodfellas. Like I'm stirring the sauce, Colbert slicing the garlic with a razor.
He didn't stop at just the legal trouble.
The whole segment was a masterclass in political comedy. Kimmel wasn't just tossing out random jokes. He was using humor to highlight some pretty serious issues. Trump's legal troubles, his fitness for office, even his diet. Nothing was off limits and the audience was eating it up. But here's the kicker. Kimmel wasn't done yet. Oh no, he was just getting warmed up. Trump might have been the main course, but Kimmel had an entire buffet of political figures to deuced. As the laughter from his Trump jokes started to fade, you could see that glint in Kimmel's eye. The one that said, "You think that was good? Just wait till you hear what's next." While Kimmel was busy torching Trump, Bill Maher decided to take on a different kind of political beast. Ever wondered what happens when a late-night host meets a congresswoman who thinks the government can control hurricanes? Spoiler alert, it's not your typical weather report. Maher set his sights on Marjorie Greene, the congresswoman making waves with her wild weather conspiracy theories. Apparently, MTG thinks Democrats have their fingers on some kind of secret weather control button. I guess she missed the memo that we can barely control our thermostats, let alone the climate. So how did Maher respond to such a bonkers theory? He didn't hold back. With his signature wit, he quipped, "If they could control the weather, they would have made sure a house landed directly on you." Ouch, that's gotta sting more than a sunburn on a cloudy day.
You'd think the guy who fathered Eric and Don Jr. would know how to handle jokes, but I guess not. You can't possibly be surprised by anything anymore. Joe Biden, our president, got a shout out from Donald Trump today.
Joe Biden's not too old to be president. I know a lot of people that are older than him and they're at the top of their game. But he is too incompetent and he is too corrupt. He's the worst president in the history of our country.
Maher pointed out that MTG's logic was about as solid as a sandcastle in a hurricane. He even compared her reasoning to that of a confused chicken, which, let's be honest, might be an insult to chickens everywhere. As the audience chuckled, you could almost see the gears turning in Maher's head. What other MTG theories could he tackle? Well, buckle up, because he was just getting started. Next, he took aim at her bizarre attempt to overlay hurricane paths with electoral maps, because nothing screams logical thinking like trying to find a political conspiracy in the path of a natural disaster, right? Maher didn't hold back, quipping, "It's like she's playing connect the dots, but the dots are all in her head." The crowd erupted in laughter. Who knew meteorology could be this entertaining? Certainly not the folks at the Weather Channel. But the real kicker came when Maher exposed just how absurd MTG's conspiracy theory really was. He highlighted its complete lack of logical basis, which is a polite way of saying it made about as much sense as using a sieve to catch rainwater. As the laughter faded, you could almost feel the collective head shaking from the audience. How did we get to a point where elected officials are spouting theories that sound like they came from a badly written sci-fi movie?
Been at the White House in the days leading up to January 6th, thanks to a treasure trove of text messages from Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. CNN was able to get more than 2,000 of these text messages. Of those who texted Meadows includes Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Sean Hannity, Jared, Ivanka, Don Jr. Nothing from Eric, and apparently Eric still isn't allowed to have a cell phone, but he turned over to the House Select Committee. There are texts from panicked lawmakers trying to reach Meadows while the Capitol was being stormed. Most of them revolve around the same theme, which was help these crazy people we told to attack the